So that was going to be
the name in Jacob's trouble.
so we love now. So we the Sons of YASHARAHLA came out here in Colorado Springs. All right, first and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory, especially in these times today, unto our Father, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah, Quadash, which are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, giving double honors unto the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, special shalom. All right, to you speckled bird brothers. All right. We're gonna get into it. As you see the title, the name of Jacob's trouble, man. All right, because it's kind of ironic, you know. A lot of brothers have like stories when they first heard the true name of the Most High, man. It resonated with their spirit. It took them to a higher frequency. You know what I'm saying? So you got right now people that was calling on, Serapis Christus, or, the basically where they get that word, Christ from, right? And with Caesar Cesare Borgia, all right, now coming full circle, man. Because when you do the research, man, all right, the Masoretic scribes, I want to say in like 600 AD or whatever, all right, they added all of these dots and lines to create vowels because they were, Edomites basically, trying to, add unto or try to pronounce, a language that wasn't theirs. Hence, you get your Yehovah and your Yahuwah, and all right. So the name of the Father is Yahweh, and His Son is Yahweh Shai.
I got a something too.
If you could get Acts 4:12 too, bring that one out.
Because you was talking about Jacob's trouble and the importance of the name. This is Proverbs 18:10. This is a basic set. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe.
It's safe, right? See, and that lines up with Acts 4:12 that he about to bring up, because safe, right, is safety. You see, it's security. All right, and he runneth to it. You see, when the enemy, right? See, when the enemy come in like a flood, right? The Most High is going to raise up a standard, right? So when He's going to give that spiritual power, raise up a standard unto who? Those that are calling on the name of the Lord as a strong tower, because it represents something. Okay, Yahweh means Yah, He, Hawa exists or to be, right? Yahweh Shai is Yah, He, Hawa Shai, salvation. He is deliverance.
Right, I got another subject.
All right, come bring it out.
This is Malachi 1:14. But cursed be the deceiver, changing up the Lashon Kadash, which hath in his flock a male and voweth and sacrifices unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen.
Right, see, they sacrifice unto the Lord a corrupt thing. Meaning, because sacrifice, when you get into it, when David talked about in Psalms, how, he rather obedience rather than sacrifice, and prayer, as incense. I'm roughly paraphrasing, right? So if you're coming in the wrong spirit, trying to claim that you're getting to the Most High, that's a corrupt sacrifice. Right. It's not a true sacrifice. You see what I'm saying?
Right, like willful sinning. Like, I'm going to go hit this lick, but hey, I got this bullet for you, Lord, don't worry about it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or
when you should be trying to do the righteous thing, do what Yahweh Shai did, right?
Or kind of like how the elder was bringing out what Issachar writes in the Roman Catholic Church, right? Using that doctrine to sell coke, work for the cartel, do all of this, but every Sunday want to be up in the in mass, which means death for real. All right, bring that one out.
Start at 10. This is Acts 4:10, and it reads, all right, be it known unto you all and all the people of Israel that by the name of Yahweh Shai the Mashiach of Nazareth, who ye crucified, whom Yahweh raised from the dead, even by him doeth this man stand before even by him do this man stand here before you whole. This is the stone which was set at naught of you builders, which is become the head of the corner.
Right. So see how even by him, Yahweh Shah, who the Most High Yahweh, who Yah crucified, our own people set him up to have the Romans, the Edomites, pierce him, right? But by him, do we stand here? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, we're here as a living sacrifice on the unicorn internet and out here in the elements, on the highways and the byways and in the great concourse, all right, pushing out the true truth, man, all right? And his name is Yahweh Shah, which we're going to get to, right? So, and that see, Yahweh Shah, so look, for a whole time, Yahweh Shah was a stumbling block, but it was the main cornerstone to build up the temple of the Lord. Because we're lively stones, right? Doesn't Peter say that?
Right.
So we're building up. This is why it says, for you are not of your own, you are bought of a price, man. All right? Romans 9:4, who are the Israelites who pertain to the adoption. All right? He bought us back. You see what I'm saying? Which can only be Israelites. Go ahead,
This is Acts 4:12, and it reads, neither is there salvation in any, for there is none other name under heaven given among men, whereby we must be saved.
There is only half the names.
There is none other name.
There's only a third of the names.
There is none other name under heaven.
We don't got the names.
For there is none other name under heaven given among men, whereby we must be saved.
So that cuts that whole, the name isn't gonna come till later till he come back and all that.
We meet him, and he's saying,
it doesn't matter what the name is.
Yeah,
that whole concept.
That means a name was been given. Can you bring up Amos 3:7 now?
I got you.
So if the name was given, right? So you can remember, we can't come to Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah, Yahweh picks who's in the fold, so to speak,
right,
for Yahweh Shah. Right, it's about predestination. Ephesians 1. We might get into that too. You see, so we going on to the name, and this is all going to lead up to Jacob's trouble, because look, it just said that there is none other name. So when Azara brought out that the name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous runneth into it and are safe. So we're looking to be safe when shit comes, because there is going to be a Jacob's trouble that we need to have safety from, man. Right. All right, good.
This is Amos chapter 3, verse 7. Surely the Lord will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
Right. So the name that was given, that no other name, you see what I'm saying, under heaven, that you could be saved, was revealed because the Lord would do nothing, as it says, was revealed unto his servants, the prophets, man. So one, you have to be an Israelite. Two, you have the hope for elect. You see what I'm saying? Because the servants, it goes back to Romans 9:4. The service, the adoption, the glory, the law. You see what I'm saying? So you have to serve him in the right spirit, man. You see what I'm saying? And that's why, Paul was, such a great apostle. You see what I'm saying? Because he was like, yo, I'm basically willing to bear anything to, in service of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So imagine for all these years now, right? You've been getting scoffed at, this and that, talking about the elders and the bishops and all of that.
Right.
Rotting for years, right?
Standing firm.
And then you see, but that's why I think it was Ottawan Gabar out of GMS New York City. It was like, this is the same thing like with the Cornelius. That's what got them kicked out, but eventually they came into the truth that Cornelius was an Israelite. Right. Because he was a devout man. When you go into that word devout is only a characteristic that has been given to the Israelites. So now with this, Most High and Christ bless, Most High and Christ bless. All right, what's the Most High's name? And what is, where does that word Christ come from? Right? So then now all of a sudden, because when if people seen it, and our God, Yahweh, they're going to have goosebumps when I say it. Yes, I said Yahweh. Come on, bro. Like, you feel me?
Well,
like,
that goes into also that, faith is a gift. Like, we don't choose Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. They choose us, man. You see what I'm saying? So how could Cornelius just be like, I want to choose you, and I'm an Edomite in the Roman army?
Let me get a step for you real quick, bro. This is Numbers 6:26. And it reads, Yahweh lift up his countenance unto thee and give thee peace. Down to 27. And I shall put my name upon the children of Israel,
Woo!
and I will bless them.
Woo! You see? So there you go.
And so where else are you going to find the name first off if not with Israel?
Exactly.
All right.
And this is why the name is dreadful to the heathen. So this whole time, his name was a secret, but he's given a secret into the prophets. Hence, the name of Yahweh, Yahuwah.
So how could he be a heathen? It'll be dreadful unto him, right?
Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, true. Yeah, with Cornelius and all that. Right? So, see, but look, that's a part of our wisdom, knowing the true names.
Huh.
And Isaiah 33:6, for wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
Right.
Right? The strength of his salvation.
Shalom, Mat.
All right. And the fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. You see? So that, I mean, obviously knowing the name of the Lord is a wise thing to do, because calling on that name, according to Acts, is going to save us, and running into it, according to Proverbs, all right, is going to keep us safe.
Well, isn't fear of the Lord the beginning of wisdom? So if you fear the Lord, wouldn't you first try to seek out his name?
Yeah.
Like most brothers coming to this truth,
Yeah.
like you're looking for the right name.
See, but look, because it's kind of like deeper than that. Like, so for you surface area Israelites, right? You know, wouldn't you want to seek out the name? See, because all names represent and mean something, man.
Right.
There's a meaning. Names are just letters that make a word that is supposed to encompass an idea. You see what I'm saying? This is what language is about.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If I call, those is tennis shoes or whatever. You know, I call them sneakers, but I think tennis shoes would be a better example. That you calling them tennis shoes because, you know, they were footwear that people used in an athletic type of mindset, usually in the sport of tennis. Right? So then people, when they hear tennis shoes, oh, okay, maybe if I run in those, my feet will be secure. You know what I'm saying? And I could be agile and you know, this and that and the third. So with using, you know, that name of tennis, then you fully understand. So, you know, for example, then, you know,
like working on cars. If you asking for the whatchamacallit, somebody gonna stand there and look at you like, what do you want? You want the wrench? You want the torch? What you want? You see what I'm saying? Right, and like Apostle Gabar say,
29 millimeters.
See what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
You gonna get the 5/8. He's like, hey, I asked for something specific.
That's right.
Going back to what Apostle Gabar said, if you with your shorty and she slip up and call you, let's say your name is David and she call you Brandon, you're gonna be lit.
Yeah, it's gonna cause contention for sure. I do got another step to land back real quick. This Isaiah 44, start at 1, and it reads, Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith Yahweh that made thee and formed thee in the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, thou Jeshurun, who I have chosen.
So look, so right there, two things popped up immediately. Jacob, my servant, back to the servants, the prophets, which has to be of the lineage of Jacob. Hence why we call ourselves sons of YASHARAHLA, because the Spirit beareth witness that we are the sons of the living power. And then 2, right, it goes on to say, for Jacob, my servant, Israel, my chosen, right? Matter of fact, read again. It's like in that little last.
Thus saith the Yahweh that made thee and formed thee in the womb.
Right. So just like Jeremiah, right? He said, before you was formed in your mother's belly, in your mother's womb, I pronounced you to be a prophet, right? Against these nations, man. That is what the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob supposed to be doing. We are a nation of kings and priests, man. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
That Yahweh, you know, it's lucky, brother.
No.
That Yahweh has legitimately chosen over all other nations on the earth, roughly paraphrasing. You know what I'm saying? What else do you need to hear? So yes, when the name had its time to come out, of course it was going to come out the house of Israel, man. It was never going to come out, you know, first off the ones who say they're Jews and are not. It was never going to just be what they decided to create it through Christianity or Jehovah. Or, it was never going to be that. Salaki. We read on. This is down to 3. For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed and my blessing upon thine offspring. And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the watercourses. One shall say, I am Yahweh's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with the hand unto Yahweh, and surname himself by the name of Israel. So again, the whole general reading is you got to be chosen of that house of Israel first off to know the name and or even come out or to be saved.
Hence why too, we come into our true nationality as being Israelites. You see what I'm saying? Because one will call themselves, by the name of Jacob. Jacob's name would turn into what? Israel.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So we're not bywords, man. You see, so the Most High is lifting up these. Matter of fact, what is that, Isaiah? Get the covering cast over all the names. Somebody type in covering cast. It's in Isaiah. Apostle Gabal brought that out in one of the last videos, and it was heavy because not only are we telling our people who they are, all right, we're also telling, these other nations who they truly are, man. Because everybody is blinded to their true nationality to a certain degree. Some people know this and some people know that, all right, but biblically, you see, according to, Genesis 10, the table of nations, you see what I'm saying?
Well, the names changed, though, because in China, they're calling themselves Chinese.
Chinese, right.
When they're Moab, because, or they go by, we live in Asia, which is what? Leo Scipio Asiatic.
That's a part
or
of
Africanus.
That's
you see what I'm
part of
saying?
those secret covenants, though, that they got their name through Esau.
Right.
And being a part of the, being grafted in or brought into that beast system, making that deal with Esau, Esau did what? They changed the names of all the other nations so that it would be more difficult to track them down. When they was down with that, they was down to have their name changed to the Chinese to get the the benefits of the cup.
Right.
But now that cup is tasting sour, they siding with the Russian Edomites. It's a whole different ball game.
Right.
Yeah.
And then also go to show you that it wasn't just a light thing to, take over the whole nation of Israel. The whole rest of the heathen nations had to be confederate with one another in order to perpetuate, this false history. But I got that for you in Isaiah too.
That's that Psalms 83, man. And the top nation that was mentioned there that, tried to, hide us from, plunder us from, having a name, all right, is these Edomites, man. And there's a bunch of bug-out Edomites out here, man.
Jersey on back.
You see what I'm saying?
The whole 2001 swag, tire, 2 watches.
I got you though, brother. This is Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in the mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Yeah, there's a covering cast and a veil that the Most High put over all nations, thinking that they're this, thinking that they're that. You see what I'm saying? When certain people's like for instance, right? Your Eastern Ukraine and Russia, like y'all think y'all different, but y'all all Esau. You see what I'm saying?
Edomites.
You know what I mean? Or Amalek and your American Edomite. You see
and Teman, that fake beef they have.
You see what I'm saying? All of y'all the same. So we're coming and telling y'all the same people, man. Just like we're telling our people, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. All right, we the same people, man. And you need to stop with. And matter of fact, somebody get that 1 Samuel. It's in 1 Samuel, but where it says that for the Most High, God looked not according to appearance, but to I can find it.
But you made me think also that goes back to like, hey, Jake became susceptible to the heathen when there was a lot of infighting amongst Jake, like with Judah and Ephraim and so on and so forth. Right. You see what I'm saying? And like Ephraim even partnered with the heathen to try to take out Judah. You see what I'm saying? So hey, a house divided what cannot stand.
Yeah, that's right. You cannot stand, man. All right, yeah. So this is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7. But Yahweh said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. Who is he talking about? He's talking about Saul, man. King Saul, right? Benjamin. For Yahweh seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but Yahweh looketh on the heart. The heart is love, which is the mind.
And that's Jake today. Because if you don't wear a suit like TD Snakes or Creflo Dollar, we don't got the truth.
Right. Or they equate the truth with some sort of monetary success and that's what a blessing is.
You don't seem like Brian McKnight. The Lord ain't dealing with you. Come on.
So you see, all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua that Yahweh is not like us, man. Because we in these carnal bodies, look at this physical realm and start, being prejudiced, right? To prejudge, right? So, like I get it all the time at my job, in my mind, I know that, Issachar is my people, but they looking at me like just some niggas, son. You feel me? They, and I got love for Issachar, but it's like, goddamn, you feel me? Don't even know that my whole mother's side speaks Spanish, and I be hearing them, little sometimes slick
shit,
every now and again. I'm not, I'm not fluent, you know what I mean? But that
I can
shit,
relate because I grew up in Cali. The same thing. You be hearing shit. You be like, damn, I thought we was cool, but you hear like Mayate or something. But they so off and so blinded by the Heavenly Father, they don't know we the same people.
Exactly. And I ain't gonna lie, that's a major issue in this area, man. You got a lot of conflict between the northern and southern kingdom in Colorado.
Right. It's just like the Bay, where you can get shot at in the Issachar neighborhood.
Yeah, that's bad true. I mean, some of them bigger cities, got more of a coming together now.
Yeah, I mean, unless you like grow up with them and shit, like you're gonna have some core homies.
Yeah, you're gonna have
but just random. You're gonna have to be like, hey, I know so and so.
Well, because of the outer appearance.
Especially down south. You head down south to Pueblo, and there's a lot of contention between the northern and southern kingdom.
Yeah, so because if you see, but that's how you know that Willie Lynch syndrome is real. You feel me? Putting even amongst, let's just say, Southern Kingdom, right? Your light skin versus your dark skin. Then when you added in the whole nation of Israel, you feel me? And then you're talking about hair texture or nose size and shit or whatever the fuck. You feel me? Then it gets a little, come on, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And then first and foremost, an Israelite is not, every Israelite ain't gonna look like the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. Yeah. Hence why the speckled bird. You see what I'm saying? Because that came out this week too. Because Voca finally had to bring it out. Does GMS Israelites have white members and shit? First of all, there's no such thing as black and white. That is a social political construct, like the Elder Malcolm always brings out. That was, it was first documented in like 1630 or 1680 something.
Late mid 1600s.
1600s, right? So,
but that's a cut to what he be talking about anyway, because you call us BHI, Black Hebrew Israelites, but don't you see Hispanic brothers?
Right.
Don't you see brothers that so-called got blonde hair, blue eyes? That's gonna be a thing.
Right.
It's gonna be Jake that looked like Bruce Lee.
Yep.
That's right, man. Gonna look like Ham. Gonna look like Ishmael. Gonna look like Japhet,
right?
Because I like, for instance, there's a dude on my job too. He has a Hawaiian name. He looked almost, like a Samoan brother. Found out his father is black, nigga.
Right.
You feel me? But he grew up in Hawaii. Obviously, his father was in the army. Went to Hawaii. Had sex with a Japhetic woman out there. You see what I'm saying? And then he come out because I'm like, yeah, his swag, because we talking and shit. And I'm like, nah, you not know Japhet, or it's not imitation, because Japhet like to imitate.
Right.
What I'm saying? Swag, like
they love being Jake, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But and if you ain't beefing, they be like family a lot.
Yeah, So, but
I got the separate from basically.
Yeah.
Hey, Shalom, GMS Daily Bread.
Shalom.
Hey, Shalom, man.
This is Isaiah 11:13, and it reads, "The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim."
Right. So Ephraim was, the head tribe. You see what I'm saying? By getting that inheritance from Joseph. You see what I'm saying? Being the firstborn, even though Ephraim was the youngest son, right? And then Jacob was like, "Yo, you got the wrong hands on which one, father?" You know what I'm saying? And then Jacob was like, "Nah, this one is supposed to be." You know what I mean? The head tribe, the fruitful one, because I want to say Ephraim means fruitful, and Manasseh means forgotten, right, in the Lashon HaKodesh, right? So, what's the name? Ephraim shall not envy Judah. You see, because eventually Judah, through the Spirit, became the head tribe and the lineage of the kings and the lineage of Yahweh Shah. You see, so Judah was always in the forefront. All right. So especially right now, right, he shall raise up the tents of Judah first,
Right.
All right. So Judah has actually been pushing out this truth. Your so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. Your so-called, Benjamite, Levite, and Judite.
Right.
Right. Because Apostle Gabar, Benjamite, Apostle Tahar, Levite. You see what I'm saying?
King Mashah,
Judites. You see what I'm saying? So going into that, right? And then eventually, by bringing out the truth, y'all are with us too. And then boom, the nation, Ezekiel 37, started, one stick should be, two sticks become one stick. But then Judah, and then the envy too, because remember it said that Ephraim is like it's like a cake unturned. Right. So you got, it's not fully speckled bird, but it's a little bit. You see what I'm saying? Meaning, whether it be the melanin is not, full, kind of, so to speak. A lot of Ephraim, especially when they come into the truth or they learn history, they like, man, they kind of like want to be like a Judite brother or something like that. But, so that's where, that Judah shouldn't be vexing, right, to anger Ephraim, man, based on how they look like, or what I'm saying, that type of nature, you know what I mean? So it shouldn't be no strife, but see, that's what Yahushua came to do.
And that's the spirit, because when I go to my little Ephraimite barber, all the barbers in there is Ephraim, right? But when they got the TV on, if you don't hear the Spanish in the rap song, it's just light-skinned Jake rapping. They got chains, they got fucking fly-ass whips, everything that Judah do here, man. Same thick-ass, light-skinned Northern Kingdom shorties. If you don't hear the music, it's Judah. So that's how you know we're the salt of the earth, man.
Real quick, if you could pull up, but no, we're going to get this one first. Because I was just bringing out, is that the wall of partition, how he took, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
That's Jeremiah 50:33, and it reads, "Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
That's right.
And
man.
all that took them captive held them fast, and they refused to let them go."
Like the elder always tell me every time, if the conversation do come up with a so-called Latino tribe, he lets them know, Spanish is a slave language, man.
Quick. It's a unified language.
That's oppression, man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You do not, you was forced not to talk your original Azteca or your Mayan or your Inca languages, man.
Right.
Which is not even your original language there, because those were, when you get into it, small dialects of Hebrew, man. Broken forms of Hebrew.
I got you.
Go ahead,
It's Ephesians 2:14. For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Exactly, between us, the Israelite foreigners, right, and those that know that they were Israelites, all right, grew up as so-called Jews. You see, the middle wall partition, because those that knew that they were Israelites was like, yo, those Gentiles, they were Gentile. They was looking at them with hatred, man.
Yeah, you call yourself a Greek, you call yourself a Roman, so on and so forth.
Right. Which would make, what's the difference? It's the same way today. We got to deal with, you get them heart-sounding, crybaby, wanna-be American Jakes, man, them 230, so to speak, that they're willing to die for this place, man. They'll ride on their brother 10 times harder before they ever turn their hand to Esau. And the Northern Kingdom guilty of that too. You got plenty of them that want to be Edom, man. You know what I'm saying? I know a few of them that are got gung-ho, run into
that's the spirit
I saw from Babylon.
Because the love of money is the root of all evil, man.
Right.
They feel like supposedly their life, which is the curses, in whatever country that they came from, was so bad that they are willing. What is the scripture in Proverbs? Envy not thy oppressor and choose none of his ways. They want to do what Esau do, look like Esau, everything like Esau, when they know that they're getting treated, discriminatorily, right? If that is even a word, to Esau.
Because I know you witnessed it, saw it firsthand, right? With what goes on in the military, man. A lot of them, whether they be Southern Kingdom or Northern Kingdom, a lot of times they come here. Isn't it wild that they won't let you have a part in the government, but they'll send you to war?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those kids are born from, especially the Northern Kingdom brothers, they're born from like illegal parents, and they'll go jump in the military and love it.
And not just that, but they'll they'll literally get on the Southern Kingdom, and same with the little ass kissers of the Southern Kingdom that like will do whatever Esau say, and they'll shit on you. And I'm like, bro, you're an Issacharite. The CIA is in your country right now, destabilizing the fuck out of us.
That's that vexation.
Just like it's doing all the other tribes.
Yeah, look at El Salvador this last week. They
try to do their hair like Esau. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know you see it with the comb over and all that.
That bullshit.
Try to drive the same trucks.
The big F-150s and the GMCs and the whatever, you feel me, trucks and
the Dodges and shit.
The Carhartt with the hats and shit, you feel me, like working the construction job, looking all, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's not even the Latino, now that I'm thinking about it, because this is why Judah is really got the blunt end of the stick, because even your West Indians and Haitians would still come at Judah too, man. Yeah. Especially if they fresh off the boat, they look like they a better so-called nigga than the nigga that grew up in America, man. You know what I mean? Right. So, they call you you black, or American, now I'm Jamaican, or I'm whatever.
But I go to show the scriptures is true, because Judah being the head tribe was supposed to hold down all his brothers, man.
Yeah.
But because we went off a horn and we did iniquity and be in front of the eyes of the Heavenly Father, now we got to get all the hell and then some that a lot of the tribes got. That's why you have the NAACP back in the day. They was raising a flag every time Jake got hung. That's why Jake can go down the street. You might have a little better chance as Issachar than a Jake who gets shot with nothing in his head.
If you could bring out, is that in Ezekiel where it's talking about the two sisters and how Jerusalem did worse than her sister Samaria? You know what I'm talking about? So because and we all come in full circle right now, because we talk about the name, we talk about Israelite foreigners, we talking about our people, and why the name is so efficient. I mean, so vital, quintessential, especially in the times that we're coming into, because Jacob's trouble is a real thing, man. All right, it's not never going to happen, or it's already been happening. We've been through Jacob's trouble. Nah, it's going to be like a time never before. All right, and watch how this all come together, because Esau is setting up the narrative to come persecute us, man. All right, but with the persecution comes the power as well. All right, but you think you're going to be getting power when you ain't calling on the names? You see what I'm saying? So you have to really understand your true value, your nationality, all right? And all of that comes with, being a Hebrew Israelite, because you can't just join it. It's a nationality. You was already an Israelite. You just didn't know you was an Israelite. Because this is that's like saying, I'm just now coming to be a descendant of my father. No, he had me through copulation with a woman. That came out of my mother, like everybody, and that lets you know that Joseph did sleep with Mary, man. That immaculate, deception. You see what I'm saying going on, whether it be in other camps or whatever.
So without really saying it, man, we've basically clarified that first off, to even be saved, first you got to be an Israelite. Second, you got to be chosen, or better yet, you have to be the elect to receive salvation, because not all of Israel is Israel, right? And then that vexation coming to an end is a sign of the signs of the times, man. Which is, it's gonna be some 230s and some niggas that just never get this, and we're not worried about them. That's not who this is for. This is for the elect. For those who have the ears to hear, the eyes to see, that's what this is. Because, like the brother mentioned earlier, we're coming into Jacob's trouble, man. It's about to be full-fledged chaos all over Babylon in what has to be a brief amount of time. It's April already, you know what I'm saying? And a quarter way, on our way through the year as it is, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot happening. It's a lot taking place. Babylon is falling apart. Did you have that set, brother? Did you find it?
I'm still looking for it.
Okay. It's a Hovila, and they gave him these nicknames.
Okay, so it is verse 11. I got it already.
Okay.
Ezekiel 23:11. And when her sister Ahobila saw this, she was more corrupt in her inordinate love than she, and in whoredom more than her sister in whoredoms.
Right. So this is talking about Jerusalem seeing Samaria go off. Samaria, right, was in the land of the northern kingdom, the northern part of Israel, right? So the people of the southern kingdom was looking at her, doing all of this evil and wickedness, worshiping other gods, following after the Assyrians, following after, all the other nations, gods, and all of that. And eventually, the Mosai sacked, Samaria and the whole other kingdom. But look, what did Jerusalem and the southern kingdom do? Even though, there was 12 tribes that dwelt at Jerusalem. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
but
right.
It was in the southern kingdom, right? In the kingdom of Judah, right? And they did even worse, man. They saw the example and still was like, well, oh damn, they're going off, but then go off too, and start worshiping way crazier other gods and doing all of that same thing. You know what I mean? So, because when you look that Christianity lot got a big hold upon you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right, we all came out of that. You see what I'm saying? Christianity, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? And they're losing it. Yeah, especially, your so-called black pastors. All right, they looking at their account, and they like, damn, time's been kind of dry, these last couple of years, and then they finding out that a lot of their members' sons or daughters or whatever, like, man, I'm an Israelite, fuck the church. You feel me? I'm gonna try to keep these laws to the best of my ability, whatever camp that they may be in. But at the end of the day, they coming into the truth that that they are an Israelite.
I would assume, and I haven't really done the research, but now that you mentioned it, it's something I want to see if it's possible to find. But like, man, now that you say that, I can only imagine that the church probably only survives through the fact that they don't pay no taxes. A lot of their shit is state or federal funded, and they don't pay for nothing. So outside of that, I can't imagine they've got like a large amount of income. Because yeah, like you said, a lot of people are just flat not into that shit. Sunday roll around and the church parking lots be empty. Unless, like you said, you always gonna have your devout, morons believe in this nonsense. But outside of that, I could imagine that people are not doing that. Because I was hanging with some folks yesterday, and they, jokingly was like, "Oh, Sunday's like the Lord's Day." And they're not churchgoers. But they were saying like you shouldn't have to do nothing because, it's the Lord's Day,
right?
So, no, you good, bro. But I was sitting there like, man, these people, they all have no idea, man. And then I'm sure they tell people they're devout Christians or something, but they ain't nothing devout about that, man. That whole faith don't fell apart.
I got a stuff for you too, brother.
Go ahead,
because you was talking about how Judah kind of envied the prosperity of the wicked. This is Sirach 9:11. Envy not the glory of the sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end.
Man, it's heavy, bro. I mean, well said. Point to the point.
See, and this is why, a bunch of us as drug dealers and scammers, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Not knowing, or gangsters, not knowing that the original drug dealer, scammer, and gangster is Esau, man.
Right. Well, this is why the scriptures say, store your treasures in heaven where moth and rust do not corrupt, right? Because this kingdom is temporal. And how much more do brothers always say, why would you try to get rich in a society where Esau could take it like that?
Right, because
when you have the kingdom to look forward to. But see, that's that partition.
If you can bring out, what's the, is it Isaiah 40-something, where Yahweh standing in the synagogue and he rolled up the scroll of Isaiah, preach ye unto the poor,
you said it's in Isaiah?
But yeah, bind up the brokenhearted, and but because the poor, right, is not just your, somebody who's in poverty on the streets or something. It's talking about the whole nation of Israel. See, when the elder apostle Tahar was breaking it down, right, which makes complete sense in the spirit, your Jay-Z, Beyonce, whatever, your any of your so-called Israelite billionaires and all that, they're a welfare case unto Amalek, man. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because like they could get their shit taken away off too. You know, just because you got $1 billion, if Jake got $1 billion, they got $1 trillion, man. If we got $1 trillion, they got $2 quadrillion, man. The curses is always gonna have us at the tail. That's why even Jay-Z with all his billions, Kanye too. Remember the song "Still Nigga"? You feel me?
See, the scriptures,
even if you in the bands, you still a nigga in a coupe. You see?
The scriptures say that the wicked have more than heart could want. So even with all that money, hey, Amalek still got all the power. That means he don't got to pay for certain shit. He don't got to pay for land. He can shut off countries' fucking power grid and so on and so forth. So you'll never be equal to Amalek, man, or any of the Edomite or heathen, man.
Like these dudes play. See,
they'll give you FRN because that's worthless. The real power is in power. I got that Isaiah though for you.
You looking for a script out?
Yeah, something came to mind.
Okay, bring it out.
This is Isaiah 61:1. It says, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek."
All right, so look, good tidings, right, is really the gospel. Good news, right? Gospel means good news, right? Unto the meek, all right? So this ain't just, humble people of every nation. This is talking about Israelites right here, all right? Because the gospel of Yahweh Shah was only supposed to give Matthew 15:24, but I'm only sent unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
And that's heavy because, hey, the meek shall inherit
the earth. The earth. Do you think all nations
this is
going
why
to inherit
it's
the earth?
for you, because, hey, the story doesn't end on y'all. It keeps going with the meek.
There we go. Continue on.
He has sent me to the blind and the brokenhearted.
Right. The Most High put what on us?
To bind the brokenhearted, Salakia.
But he blinded us. You see? I want to say this in Romans. You know what I mean? But the Most High put, how do we say, a spiritual eye salve, right? To give us inner vision of who we are and what's to come, right? So he's basically healing, the blindness. Go ahead. What was the last part of that?
To proclaim liberty to the captives and the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
Right. So that's twofold, right? Because we're captive under Esau, all right, and we're bound in these bodies, right? These chains of darkness. So Yahweh Shah is like, yo, if you follow me and keep in the will of the Father, right, you're gonna get out of this captivity under, these Roman Edomites, so to speak, these Babylonian Edomites, so to speak.
Right.
And you're gonna get new bodies, man, everlasting life.
Can I get verse 2 for you? Verse
2,
to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn.
The acceptable year, the kingdom, man. You see what I'm saying? The kingdom, man. All right? And to declare that power, man. So this is where Yahweh Shah came up and he said, today that I read this, the scriptures fulfilled, man. You see what I'm saying? Because people was waking up like, man, yo, this is the Messiah, bro. This is who it was talking about in the volume of the book, man. All right? He is our salvation. He's going to be the one through his unblemished vessel to be
beginning of sorrows was when he came about.
So well, can you? I think it's in
I knew it was in the Apocrypha. I just couldn't remember where.
It's in. I think it's in Sirach, where it's like, to all you who seek to be rulers and kings and princes, like keep unto wisdom and something like that. Because the reason why I brought it up is when you was talking about Amalek, right? They wake up every day with that kingly mindset as far as world domination. And see, that's what's wrong with Jake. Jake is cool to being at the bottom.
Yeah, all comfortable.
And see, but we're wanting to be in that. Even Yahweh Shah said, Father, bring me back into that glory that I had when I was with you, right?
Well, that's why the apostles talk about the rulership mentality. Because if you don't force yourself to be in the rulership mentality, you're going to accept, well, this is what the Heavenly Father wants from my life. I'll work for $12.95 an hour and I'll fucking be on food stamps and be happy about it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And that shit. And it's not like, right, you could try to make your life a better living, but you understand that that's not going to save you.
Right.
Right. And then, you know, depending on everybody or every brother's hell that they're going through, you know, certain men know themselves and they know if they have a certain type amount of money that they're not gonna, you know, so and you do what you do to stay in this truth. You see? So yeah, you know, we making, measly shekels, talking about us and Sons of YASHARAHLA, Ken, you know, but we doing this work because we know that this ain't gonna be forever. All right, we gonna have, you know, wealth, far beyond our wildest dreams, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? Because it was prophesied, you know, up to that. We're gonna, you know, what does it say? Suck the milk of the Gentiles. You see what I'm saying? The riches of the other kings and all of that. All right. The sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls. Yeah, dog.
So like, this is just kind of roundabout though. Just kind of hitting our whole topic. But this is I'm gonna run through this like from probably 119. That's cool. But Salakia, this Wisdom of Solomon 3, and I'm gonna start at 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of Yahweh, and there shall no torment touch them.
So look, the souls of the righteous. Who's the righteous, man? The Israelites, man.
That's right.
He got the whole world in his hand, the world of Israel.
Right.
The souls of the righteous are in his hand, man, because it can't be everybody. Because in Malachi 1, right, you see, in Malachi 1, verse 4, talks about the wicked. So there's a righteous, there's the sons of God, the righteous, there's the sons of men, and then the sons of the wicked. Go ahead, on.
Right. In the sight of the unwise, they seem to die, and their departure is taken from misery. And they're going from us to be under destruction, but they are in peace. You know, basically, yeah, they perished. They've, you know, gone to the spirit world, and they're with your house.
Come on, they good.
All right.
So like last Ken, all right, your mom's died, but she good, man. She knows the truth now.
Right. You
feel me? She's resting until she, you know, the Most High reincarnate her. You know.
And they are Salakia. For they be punished in the sight of men, yet there is hopeful, Salakia, yet there is hopeful of immortality.
Right. Look, who is punished in the sight of men? When I first woke up, I literally woke up because I saw our people being punished in the sight of the whole world through the internet, man. You know, your Philando Castiles, your Eric Garners, all right, Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans, the fight at the pipeline in North Dakota with Gad. You know what I mean? Yeah, the dogs are sicking them and throwing water on them and shit. You feel me? That was coming from Alaska to, you know, to Chicago and some shit.
And having been a little chastened, there shall greatly rewarded for Yahweh. Salakia. They shall be greatly rewarded for Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself.
What we going through is little chastisement,
right.
Little chastening, man. But immortality is coming, you know.
As Yahweh in the furnace hath he tried them and received them as a burnt offering. And in a little time their visitation shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. And they shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people. And Yahweh shall reign forever.
What does sparks do to stubble, man? It lights it on fire. Any of you that been camping know about kindling. Right? You go and get your kindling, and then you get your biggest sticks, and you maybe if you have flint and a knife, you create sparks to that stubble.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and so we gonna light these motherfuckers on fire, man.
Right.
All right.
They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him, for grace and mercy is to his saints. Salakia. And he hath care for his elect. But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken Yahweh.
Right, see? Yo, that's deep, man. That shit is so heavy. You feel me? Because, right, in Psalms it talks about who the saints are, but then he has care for his elect. So when we talking about the topic, Jacob's trouble, you see what I'm saying? My servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry, man. You see what I'm saying? So he's going to take care of his elect. Matter of fact, the last live that we did, me and Azara did, was on, I was just looking through the videos, was when he's going to take care of the elect in Jacob's trouble, man. It was about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable. And their hope is vain, their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable.
Hold on. Whoever despises wisdom and what?
And nurture, he is miserable.
So wait, Yahweh Shah said that, you know, come unto me, all thee laden with sins, you know, burdens and all that, for I will give you rest. So this word, the spirit, right, is wisdom and nurturing, man. All right? Because it gives us peace of mind, because we know what's to come. So if you're not in the truth, not only now, but especially in Jacob's trouble, you're going to be miserable, bro. You're not going to know what to do. This is why mighty men shall hold upon their loins as if, you know, a woman in travail. You know, why do I see, you know, men hold as do men have kids? You know, I'm roughly paraphrasing how I asked that through the prophet.
Wailing, you know what I'm saying?
And it was a rhetorical question. No, they don't. So why do I see men holding their loins? You see what I'm saying? Crying and shit. In the what's they call that position?
Fetal.
The fetal position. That's what literally niggas gonna do in their bathroom. Listen, hearing rapes and gunshots and fires and bombs explode.
A lot of niggas going off themselves, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be too much.
And select. For he who despises wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain. Their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable. Their wives are foolish, their children are wicked, their offspring is cursed. Wherefore blessed is the barren that undefiled, which have not known in the sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls, and blessed is Enoch, which with hands have wrought iniquities, nor imagined wicked things against Yahweh. For unto him shall be given the special gift of faith and inheritance in the temple of Yahweh, more acceptable to his mind. For glorious is the fruit of good labors, and the root of wisdom shall never fall away.
You shall judge a tree by the fruit it bears, man. We're supposed to be giving out spiritual fruit out here, right? And glorious is the fruit of what?
Glorious is the fruit of good labors.
Good labors. So us doing this is a good labor right here.
Right.
All right. And this is, and unto the, you know, to the Most High, you see, Lord willing, he's looking at this as a, you know, we doing a glorious thing for him, because we don't deserve, you know, none of it. We don't deserve salvation, none of that. You see what I'm saying? But we're giving diligence to make our calling and election sure.
The root of wisdom shall never fall away. As for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of the unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. For though thou live long, yet shall there be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. Of they die quickly, and they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. Right? Whether there be, you know, the generation of Israelites that walk the earth, or just the generation of heathens, man. At the end of this age, bro, the horrible is the end, man, for you, because you're not chosen, or you're not the elect. And, you know, Lord willing, Yahweh Tazah, we be among that number, but if you're not, the end is horrible, man. All right? Starvation, death by pain, death through, you know, rape, robbery, murder, the pillaging, the raiding, the marauding that's going to take place, like this brother was just mentioning. There's no escape without divine intervention, man. Without Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah, we are defenseless, which is what brings us to that Isaiah 33, or 33, man.
And the Proverbs. What would be a defense? A strong tower. A
strong tower, bro.
Which is the name.
And if you don't have that name, you're done. Your goose is cooked, bro. Game over.
And it's funny because when it said the children of adulterers, because at first you're thinking of it carnally, like, you know, this man slept with another man's wife. But if you think about it, you feel me, on a spiritual tip, right? A children of an adulterer, you see what I'm saying? Like, you are the child of, like, a false ideology, man, because you're committing adultery, spiritual fornication, right, unto Yahweh, because we're supposed to be married. Hence why, right, the washing of water, which is the word, through Yahweh Shah's blood, which is his life and all that, the spirit, all right, in order for us to be in the truth, the true doctrine, all right, because you're not defiled, you see what I'm saying, by women, which is, you know, philosophies and other ideologies. You see what I'm saying? Because one of our the first commandment, you feel me, like, you know, thou shalt not worship, have no other gods before me, right? And then when you did, you committed adultery. You was a whore, all right, in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
And that's heavy too, because it's the first commandment. Why is that? Because if you're not worshiping Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you're already off and you lack understanding.
That's right.
See, if you were seeking after the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he would give those things to you.
That's what I was going to say.
Right.
Because
don't do this. Right. Don't trust your fucking enemy.
Right.
Don't love the heathen.
But see, and it's, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, us being in incorruptible bodies and not being, you know, in our perfect state, so to speak, you know, that Super Saiyan, you know, level that we all obtain to reach, and being in the filthy rags, you know, we sin, and, you know, we beg forgiveness, we do those things. These other people, man, they not doing that at all. You know what I'm saying? So there's no,
or it's not in sincerity.
Yeah, it's not in sincerity, man. You know, their doctrine is off. They don't know the name at all, or they're going to a whole nother, you know, or they believe in following and walking in a whole nother doctrine.
Well, that's why repent means to turn away.
Right.
You know, and until you can actually turn away from those things, you continually sinning.
So
like, it takes a real, genuine, sincere effort.
Right.
To turn away, like quitting cigarettes or whatever it may be. Or you're dealing with a shorty and you know she got somebody.
For a lot of brothers, man, you know, maybe you make bad money in your job, and that's difficult for you to turn away from because, you know, you got children or your woman, you know, you may lose your woman, but when you do come to this truth, man, you got to be willing to lose everything 10 times over, man.
Lose it all, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because the scripture roughly paraphrased says, he who's not willing to lose his life ain't gonna never receive that crown.
See,
man.
that means that you don't have that belief, man.
Right.
You don't believe, man. Like when I you know, came into read the scriptures, bro, it's like, and remember, we not given a full fathom understanding of the kingdom.
Right.
But when I just meditated on what the kingdom can be, I'm like, man, fuck, I'll lose all this shit. I'd rather have that shit than deal with this shit now and try to, you see what I'm saying?
To try and carve, you know, you giving up your soul to carve out the picket fence in a 2-car garage, a dog and a nagging ass
to still
female.
Struggle.
Right.
Because majority of you ain't going to be how they call that 1%, which is really 1% of Jake, because you're still going to be under Esau, right? But the best you're going to get as Jake is upper middle class,
right, in
Babylon. That's the best you're going to get.
And in Babylon currently, that middle class is disappearing, man.
Right.
It's becoming the working class poor and the 1%. So, and I just watched, you know, Salakia, I just watched, like, you know, I watch Vice, like television or snippets a lot.
Vice News.
Yeah, because, you know, they always got like some wild, you know, they always got some wild story. Every now and then it pertains to something relevant. But it was the one I recently watched was about like how fucked up it is and how the system is so fucked up in Babylon. This man was 60-some years old, working 3 jobs, had a medical incident, and lost everything. Like went from, you know, making $2,500 a month to not being homeless. And he was like, man, there's something wrong with that.
Well, hey.
I don't know, of course there is.
Yeah.
Nigga, you getting robbed.
Well, same thing happened to this Edomite couple, and this wife's caught cancer, and fucking the medical bills started piling up, and I guess they had like $1 million or something in the bank. Yeah. They fucking spent all that shit, and then fucking she got better, but they're dead broke, and then fucking her old man ended up killing himself.
Right. See, I mean, the man spent his whole.
Well, that's why it ain't just us; it's all nations.
Yep.
Proverbs: when the wicked rule, the people mourn, but when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. Subconsciously, everybody is looking for the so-called Neo-Latino Native American man to take the kingdom, man. Right. Subconsciously, because they know that the people that rule this place, you feel me, it makes this shit a living hell. Right.
Because you got the, you know, very apparently the devil set against the devil in Babylon, you know, but, you know, we rambling. Did y'all brothers have any other scriptures?
Yeah, I found that one script that I was talking about real quick.
I was just figuring
about the world domination because, you know, I remember what, you know, Pinky in the Brain as a little kid,
Yo.
You know, what are we gonna do? You know, tomorrow, Pinky.
Same thing we do every day, Brain.
Yeah, you know,
Brain
Brain
take over the world,
right? But see, not knowing that, you know, Brain was like an Amalekite. You feel me? Represented as a rat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know that understanding of every day.
So they were white.
Because white rats, white lab
race.
rats. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So let me see if I can find it real quick.
But yeah, that's actually a heavy ass comparison right there, because that little nigga was evil, man.
Hey man, Pinky dumbass was just down the ride. He ain't getting strapped to
It also kind
rockets.
of low-key reminded me of Invader Zim and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Invader Zim was
he was
kinda like
plotting
that
on
too.
everybody, but he's that true alien.
Yep. He was. He plotting on everybody. Could never quite get the job done. Though something always go wrong.
And that's really the story of Esau. Like, it's gonna get right there, but what does the scripture say? When he's about to fill his belly, Most High gonna motherfucking spiritually slap that motherfucking plate off the table.
For real. You ain't getting no food, nigga.
Oh, is it Wisdom of Solomon?
I was looking for something too for the longest.
Salaki, I was looking at Sirach.
Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking Sirach, because I think of the, you know, of wisdom or whatever. But I'm gonna start at Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6. I'm gonna start at verse 12. And that verse 21. Y'all can break it down as I go down. Verse 12, it reads, "Wisdom is glorious and never fadeth away. Yea, she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her."
I mean, it's like the brother's reading, it's pretty self-explanatory, but for very obvious reasons, man, you start finding wisdom or seeking wisdom through the book of YASHARAHLA, Holy Scripture. It's going to be glorious to you if you were given that gift, man. If not, it's just words on the page.
Well, Khan, if you look at Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. If you are one of those men that's allotted to make it to the end, you're going to be using what? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And that's glorious, because you didn't beat famine, pestilence, third world's woe, thermonuclear missiles. That's glory in that.
She preventeth them that desire her, in making herself first known unto them. You know, and that kind of reminds me of, you don't choose to be in this thing. The Most High chooses you, man.
Right.
So you could try to seek out the wisest and the wisdom of the ancients and all these books and the Medunetta and, and the
look what
Quran. And
if you could seek it out yourself, Esau would have been trying to hop in the fold.
Which he basically did.
Yeah, I was just
what he did discover. He did, and the scriptures tell you he used this information to cover up the judges thereof.
Yeah.
Right.
Verse 14: "Whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors." What does it say in Ecclesiastes?
Seek ye and not you.
Yeah, it did. You see,
Right.
That's the spirit.
While you got the time, man. Because, you know, roughly paraphrasing, of course, but yeah, it's in Ecclesiastes where it says that to seek wisdom in thy youth, man, while it's yet available to
and that makes perfect sense.
While you have access to the unicorn, while the elders are still live, while the camps are still putting out videos. There's videos going up every day. There's videos going up, you know, all hours of the day. There's so many brothers putting up videos, you can't even keep track of everybody. But that's that, you know, that flood of wisdom, so to speak.
Well, that also makes me think, Elder, about something Apostle Bakar had said, and it reminded me of you and Yada. When you're seeking this wisdom, knowledge, understanding early, it's taking you out of the world, man.
Right.
Just like Apostle Bakar. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So what are you not? You're not willfully sinning.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're seeking to do the right things according to the Heavenly Father, man.
And look, it said, "Ye shall have no great travail." So you're gonna go through some shit.
Right.
But it ain't
It's
going
not
to
gonna
be
be no
as
two-thirds
great
shit,
right.
because your mind is going to have a peace
Right.
to endure through the bullshit that the Most High. What does it say in Sirach 2, chapter 2? If thou come to seek the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation.
Right.
You see, so
And the Most High, what is it? Well, it also say that the Most High is not going to put more on you than you can handle, right? When you're in this truth, and He'll give you a way out.
Right.
verse 15. To think, therefore, upon her is perfection of wisdom. You know, meditate on the law day and night.
Because you're gonna grow. You can't be stagnant or crossing the hardship.
You know, like like how it constantly that comparison of living waters.
Right.
If you're stagnant, like you said, brother,
like you always say,
you can't drink from a stagnant water source, man. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna get sick and perish in some form.
But that fresh mountain lake that's flowing, hey, that's refreshing.
You can drink out the wood, but you might get a little dirty, but you can drink out of it.
And whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showing herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeting them in every thought.
So once again, you gotta be brought in. You got to be chosen. You got to be of the elect.
Yeah.
Otherwise, wisdom ain't gonna sit at your door. You wouldn't sink it. You run around talking about Cesare as your God, or you run around talking about Buddha or Muhammad. You ain't got no wisdom, man.
Right.
You can sit up in front of however many people you want and chant and pray and Allah Shallah, but it's not gonna save you at all, man. Go ahead, bro.
So this is the deep part, because this is just like in Peter, how things built upon each other. Verse 17, for the very true beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love, and love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption.
Right.
So you ain't gonna get no incorruptible body if you ain't taking heed to keep the laws, man. Right. To the best of your ability, rehearsing the righteous acts.
That's why the script before said it'll be a quick peacefulness, roughly paraphrasing. You see what I'm saying? Because if you're doing those things, you know what I'm saying, Lord will you have that number. Hey, the suffering we go through now is nothing compared to 5,000-10,000 years in the kingdom. This is a moment.
Because I think Yada said it last week, man. Like, you got niggas that you know, they be willfully sinning, thinking, oh, it's cool, you know, and that shit ain't cool, man. Like, if you could keep the law to the best of, you know, it's impossible in some situations, but you know, within your right mind, trying to keep it, then you're on track. But if you just out here like, oh man, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna bust a bitch down on the Sabbath, it ain't gonna be no thing, nigga, you tripping, you bugging out, or you know, you can avoid from not keeping the Sabbath, so to speak, or keep the Sabbath when you can. You know, if you gotta work, but you know, just not putting no effort in, man. Niggas don't put no effort in. Go ahead.
Well, that's why they lack wisdom, because wisdom runs from those profane things.
Trying to like, or how y'all. This is what y'all had said last week, that the commandments were not grievous, but you got niggas who want to change it, you know, for their benefit. Yeah. Like, oh well, you know, I'm eating crab legs. I prayed over it. Like, nigga, why can't you give up crab? Like that?
There's so much other food on the earth the Heavenly Father gave you. Right. You can't give up fucking pork, shrimp. You can't give up fucking crab, shellfish.
And
you can eat food out the water too. There's plenty of delicious ass fish, man. Look at Yum Yum. That would be up a fire fillet.
Hell yeah. Or even holidays, man. We have our own days. You can't give up a goddamn birthday, Christmas,
Easter.
You know, you
don't have nothing to do with you, man.
You know, so, but see, it goes on to say, verse 19, and incorruption maketh us near unto the Most High.
Right.
So we're seeking to be back in the presence of the Most High, man. So, and the only way we can do that is if we get beamed up and get the new bodies, man.
That's right.
And then he's going to literally, you know, be with us, man. You see what I'm saying? Verse 20, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. You see, so we're looking for the kingdom because we're desiring, all right, that wisdom, man.
Right.
Verse 21, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore.
That's heavy. Does that make me think, man, like the Most High can't look upon wickedness, right? So look how so-called blessed Esau and Amalek on down is, man, and the heathen. Imagine the sons that actually please him. You see what I'm saying? And presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. What are they going to get, man? See what I'm saying?
Hey, man, rather be over here on the line, trying to keep the laws and statutes and beat them other niggas, man. I'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, I'll never not. It's like,
might be my friend.
It's all good. It's all good. But you know, man, much rather be on the side, you know, the light side than the dark side, man. The right hand side than the left hand side, man. You know what I'm saying? We truly are blessed just to be Israelites, and then Lord willing, even to just know what we know. So, you know, Father Yahweh for giving us that understanding and maintaining, brothers, and Lord willing, you know, we continue to be maintained. That's forever Psalms 51. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't take it away from these brothers, man. Lord willing.
Well, if any brothers have anything else, I think, you know, that was, you know, we'll close it out. You know, see, because we come out here in the season, out of season, man, you know, and this how you know we're at the end of this thing. Literally, Thursday, it was 80 degrees. The next day, it snowed or some shit. You feel me? And then, you know, yesterday it was lit. Right now, it's fucking, the wind is, you know. Yeah, so.
It's cold and
The Lord just want to G-check us real quick.
Yeah, you know, it's all good. You know, so that's why it's, you know, discipline. This is discipline to come out here, you feel me? Yeah. Which is the beginning of that, which is, you know, the true discipline of the kids of love, you know. And like we just read, you know. So, you know, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. You know, we're going to say a shalom to the, you know, the speckled bird, Israelite foreigners. Shalom to so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. I pray with y'all to, you know, kin back to your true nationality, which is, you know, Hebrew Israelites. Hebrew is our language. You know what I'm saying? Hebrew is our customs. You see what I'm saying? Israelites our nation. You know, Hebrew is our faith too, going back to Abraham. You know, and our laws. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with that, you know, we're gonna give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Wadash. All right, double honors to the apostles, great notes on who well. All right, Abba Babor, Kwam Yasharahla, Shalom.
Shalom.
Heavy hitting.